Now I'm going to show you how to set up and use the power limiter, which is a really cool feature of the PowerWave, our high power electronic source. So the setup I'm using here is I have the PowerWave used as a DC source, and this time I have a load connected there on the back, as you can see it. It's a 2.5 ohm resistor, and I have hooked up the differential voltage probe again, as well as the current probe, all connected to the oscilloscope. And the oscilloscope setup I'm going to show it to you a bit later. So the setup of the PowerWave I show here. So I'm using the DC mode. I set it up to 150 volt. 150 volt DC at the 2.5 ohm resistor gives roughly 9 kilowatt of power. So that's line 2. So line 2 and 3 I'm leaving just as it is. So I'm going to go on the continuous mode for the limiters. I'm going to have disabled first the charge and as well as discharge peak limiters. This is part of another video. So if you want to know about how to set up the limiter, current limiter, watch out or watch another video. And also the power limiter, I'm going to leave it disabled just for the starting point. So now when I'm switching on the output, you can see on the oscilloscope that we're going here on the top trace. You can see yellow and purple. That's voltage and current. So we are at roughly 150 volts and 60 amps. And in the yellow trace, in the lower trace, this is the power. So as you can see, we are at roughly 9 kilowatt of power. So now I don't work with the power limiter switched on, but this is 150 volt at a 2.5 ohm resistor, gives 9 kilowatt of power. Now I'm going to switch on and set up the power limiter. For that I go here to the setup menu again. I leave it 150 volt. I'm not using the current limiter, but now I'm going to use the power limiter. So I'm going to enable it. And I'm going to set it to 5 kilowatt, which is the minimum. And on the oscilloscope, you can see now that the power is limited to 5 kilowatt. I'm going to just change it back, or change it slightly to 6 kilowatt. And on the oscilloscope, you can see that the power will change. So I'm going to set it to 7 kilowatt, just that we see the jump is a bit bigger. Setting it to 7, and it immediately goes to 7 kilowatts of power limitation. I'm going to set it to 8 kilowatts. And it goes to 8 kilowatts. I'm going to disable it. And it will jump back to the 9 kilowatt, which is the setting with 150 volt, the 2.5 ohm resistor. So here I demonstrated the very powerful feature of the PowerWave, the current limiter. So like that you can make sure that you always stay within the power limitations of your test object. That helps you to not destroy the test object. That's why I'm going to switch off now the PowerWave to not destroy my 2.5 ohm load.